Facebook.
All right, we're live. Cheddar TV. Welcome everybody who isn't here yet. We're going to go ahead and start recording. Many of you are going to probably see this, see the recording on this call. I just want to double check real quick before I get too far. Okay, yep, I'm live on YouTube, so we're set. Okay, welcome Cheddarville. Thank you for being on our first live broadcast. We're going to call this Cheddar TV for now, right? We might come up with a better name. A little bit cheesy as we tend to do things. I got my brother Taylor here. What up, Taylor?
What up, Grant?
What up? So Taylor and I are going to be, actually Taylor for the most part on this call is going to be talking about OA Cheddar, OA Cheddar dose, and Feta 55. We got some leads to go over, and we're just going to be talking about online arbitrage sourcing. So hopefully you enjoy the call. First, I want to just remind you, if you're watching this recording, you need to change your setting. If you go down on YouTube at the bottom of the video and you click the little gear, okay, it's a little circular icon. If you click that button and change your definition to HD, right? It'll be like 720 HD. And that way through the whole entire video, you're going to see all the details that we're recording today. Because when Taylor starts sharing his screen, some of the details can be a little blurry if you're not watching it in HD. So make sure you do that. First off, I want to let you guys know we are OA Cheddar, right? If you want to learn more about us, you can visit us at our Facebook page. That Facebook page is facebook.com/groups/OA Cheddar. OA Cheddar, right? You can also just go into the search bar on Facebook and search OA Cheddar Online Arbitrage, and you will see our group. It'll be pretty obvious. You'll see the big logo. You'll see the holy, Swiss looking cheese decals and banner image. You do need a request. Once you see the group, you do need a request to join the group, and then we will look over your application. Make sure you answer the questions. It's really not that hard to do, and it's nice of you to kind of help us out because we do ask questions, and we would appreciate it. So answer the questions. We'll look over your application, and then if you look here, Taylor has already got. I don't know if you can see this as I'm talking, but he's looking at the OA Cheddar sales page. Taylor's how about we just show that to him, Taylor, after once I open you up and have you start training, you can go over the sales page and the Facebook group as well. So that's the Facebook group. Join us inside of there, where you'll be notified of more Cheddar live calls that we do. You'll be we're going to try to give you guys some cool value, and we're posting videos in there that Taylor records, training videos, stuff like that. So good place to connect with the rest of the community. It's a good place to learn more about OA Cheddar lead lists, right? OA, by the way, if you're watching this video and you're totally new to the online arbitrage space or the Amazon FBA space, OA means online arbitrage. And what it is we essentially show you guys with our lead list where you can buy a product, for example, on, let's say, Walmart.com, and you can sell it for a profit on Amazon.com. Okay, so that's what we're basically providing as a service. It's an awesome service. We've got great feedback. We've seen a lot of people's stores be scaled up and selling thousands to tens of thousands per month using our lead list. So it's pretty great. We're excited to serve the community in that way. So a little bit more about myself and Taylor. We are two of a few creators of the OA Cheddar lead list business. Okay, one of the other main contributors to building this system, building this lead list service is our friend Gabe Strom, which you'll see him through the other videos on the sales page and stuff. He's pretty hard to not notice. He's a great guy, and so we got an awesome team. OA Cheddar also has a team of people overseas, a total of 7 online arbitrage experts who are generating leads all the time. And then there's us here in the States, a team of about 5 of us that are working every day to make sure that we're delivering an awesome product. So again, you can also check us out at oacheddar.com, right? And take a look at all of our lists. There's 3 currently. We have OA Cheddar 55, OA Cheddar Dose, and OA Feta 55, okay? So take a look, all the details are on the website. Taylor and myself, we live in a city called, a town, whatever you want to call it, Wenatchee, Washington. It's considered the Apple capital of the world, believe it or not. Little Wenatchee, but it's a farm town. We love it here. We've been born and raised in this town, and that's where we're from. So if you want to check it out on Google Maps, you can see some cool pictures on images and stuff like that. What else? So I've been selling on Amazon personally for about 5 years. We're working toward our 5th year. in this business, and we are primarily our business, the one that I own with my wife, and Taylor and my cousin Charles are both team members of this organization that we've been building. We are primarily retail arbitrage, which is when we go into retail stores, scan products on the shelves and the clearance racks, or maybe we go into price off stores, find something profitable, and send it into Amazon and sell it. Okay. Over the last 5, or let's just say 4.5, 5 years, we've done well over 3 million in sales, and in 2018 we're tracking to do 1.2. By the grace of God, we might see 1.5 million, but right now we're tracking about 1.2 million for the year. What else do I want to tell you about myself? So like I said, it's a team of 4 of us, myself, running the company from the computer for the most part, helping manage the team. Taylor is basically our primary sourcer, not sorcerer, right? Not to be mistaken for sorcerer. He's an expert in retail arbitrage, an expert in online arbitrage. He's a huge factor when it came to developing and getting OA Cheddar into a real product. He helped train the team, and so he's been very instrumental in that process. And over the last few years, right, or at least the last 2 years, we've committed ourselves to providing products and services for people like you that want to sell on Amazon or are selling on Amazon. We want to help you do it in a bigger, better way. Okay, so I'm going to kind of shut up here for a second. I've already talked a little bit about Taylor. We do have notes, right? We keep it simple here. I'm gonna pass it over to Taylor. Taylor is gonna share his screen, and what we're gonna do, you guys, is we're gonna just basically do some lead vetting. Taylor's gonna show you some of the leads that we have on our list, and if you have any questions, go ahead and pop out. All right, here we go, Taylor. Go for it.
All right. Well, for this episode of Cheddar TV, I went ahead and created a list. It's a little bit of everything from today's list. Today being July 18th, 2018. So I'm just going to go ahead and start off and just break down the list. Now, this is a template of how your lead list would come to you every single morning. And as our customers already know, I'm sure they're used to seeing something very similar to this. Of course, you'll have your title of the item, the ASIN number, the source URL, and then the supplier, as well as a 90-day sales rank average, the category in which the item is in, cost, the selling price, the current lowest FBA offer, the net profit, the ROI on the product, and then if there's any promo codes or coupons that go with the product, you'll find it right here in this section, and then any notes, normally that would be right there in that section. And then, of course, our averages. So I went ahead and grabbed 8 leads off all 4 of our list, actually. We have our 2 Cheddar lists, and then our OA Feta list, which are all currently available. And then right now we're actually on a Cheddar. We don't really have a name for it, so I'm just going to call it Cheddar 3. This is a beta list. This is leads that we sometimes get that are just extra leads from the day. So I went ahead and added 2 extra ones in there for this episode. You have your averages up here. So on this list, we have an average cost of $10.33 with an average selling price of $25.35, an average net profit of $9.53 per item, and an average ROI of 94%. So digging in, this is going to be coming from Cheddar 55. This is our original flagship or our original list that we created. So this is let's go ahead and open up. This is a product from cvspharmacy.com or cvs.com. There is actually a coupon with this item, 25% off plus free shipping. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that real quick. So I have that saved. And just walking through how I would recommend looking at each one of our leads and how I personally look at each one of these leads when I open up the list every morning to inspect it before it goes out to our customers. First, you want to start off with the profit. So right here, I have a program called Rev ROI. It's a tool that we use to quickly break down what the profit will be after we purchase the item and after shipping fees and Amazon's fees. So quickly, I'm going to hop over. The price that we should be getting for this item is $9.22 after our coupon. So I'm just going to enter that in real quick.
Hey, Taylor, I'm going to jump in real quick. I just want to mention something I forgot to tell you all that are watching. please post your comments on YouTube over here below the video. Some of you are probably going to see it over to the right, but definitely post your comments or questions in there, and we will make sure to get back to all of that. Okay, so thank you.
Awesome. Perfect. So $9.22 is what we should be paying for this item. The coupon code does give us free shipping, which is really nice. I'm seeing that we should be expecting a net profit based off of the current FBA price of $5.82 with an average, or with, I'm sorry, an ROI of 63%. So right off the bat, there is profit in this item if everything lines up correctly. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just scroll down and check the history out of the item. And I use Keepa. Now, Keepa.com is a great program that we use pretty much for most things in our Amazon business. And of course, we use it with OA Cheddar. So what I'm looking for here is I'm making sure that the average selling price is consistent. Now, on our Cheddar leads, our Cheddar list, the Cheddar 55 and Cheddar dose, we have a certain criteria for ROI, and price history. So we always look at the 3 months, and if the majority of that 3 months or over 3 months of the price being consistent or in the profitable range, that is one of the criteria that we have for the list. So right off the bat, I am going to check, and I see here I'm looking at the FBA triangles, which is going to be my main competing price since I am using FBA. And then I also have the blue squares set up for the merchant fulfills with the shipping costs. A lot of people don't know this, but your blue line that you have on Keepa that will tell you your new price, that doesn't include the new price plus shipping costs. So you'll see, like, if I turn this off, I'm just going to show you this example right here. The third-party FBM price, so third-party merchant fulfilled with shipping costs, is actually $20.98, where our new price on the item is $18.99. So we know that it is actually selling for around $20.98 when all things are considered. I'm going to turn back on the FBA pricing, and then I also always keep on the buy box. And what's helpful is you'll notice, like on this product, the merchant fulfilled is actually a lower price, but the FBA offer is the one getting the buy box. And that is majority of the time FBA is going to get the buy box over a merchant fulfilled offer. So another tip, if you're new to using Keepa, if you have the ability to turn on the buy box over here, turn it on. It makes making a buying decision that much easier. So looking at this item, I see that the price is consistent. It's consistently selling around $22. Which is what it currently is at right now, and that is what I'm basing my profit off of. And the other thing I look for when I'm inspecting is I'm looking for the sales rank here, this green line. Okay, I have it highlighted. This green line, I'm looking for spikes. So the way I have my Keepa graph set off, the lower the spike, the lower the sales rank. So when I see all this movement up and down, what that's indicating to me is that every time that I see a down spike, the item is selling. And so what we try to do is we try to have to every lead that we put on OA Cheddar 55 and dose, we want them to be selling at least 10 sales per month. And of course more than that, but that is the bare minimum that we will have set up. So looking at this item, I see that is not a problem. It's definitely selling 10 times per month. I can actually go into the month here, and if I want to count them out, I can. That's not exactly the most accurate way to determine how many times an item is selling. There is other tools like Jungle Scout and Viral Launch and things like that that will give you a little bit more up-to-date or more, I guess, correct number of how many times an item is selling. But I am just checking to see that there is this movement, and I see plenty of movement on this item. The other thing that I do after I look at the 3 months is I'll go out to a year, and I like to see what in the last year, how is this item being priced. And I see that in the last year, for the most part, it consistently is over $21, $22. There's a couple times here that I see that it did sell at 18, but those are very few compared to the whole year. And then I'll always check the all time just to see if there is anything that I might be missing. And again, the price on this item is very consistent. So I know that if I'm able to get it for the $9.22 price, I should have no problem selling this for around $22 and making the gross profit that I am hoping to make. So now after I've checked profit, what I want to do is I want to make sure that we're looking at a match. So I'm going to hop over to the source site, And right now I'm just going to start off with the title. I'm going to start off with the title. So Exoderm Intensive Daily Moisturizer, 8 ounces. I hop back over here. Exoderm, it's right here. Intensive Daily Moisturizer. Okay, 8 ounces as well. So title is a match. I know it's the right brand name. That's the only difference between the title from the source side and Amazon. Looking at the picture next. Let's see if I can't zoom in on this. Open this up a little bigger. It won't let me do that. So I just got this image to look at. Looks like the lighting's a little different, but everything else, from what I can tell off of CVS, is the same. So the other thing actually I see if I can zoom in on this, and it won't allow me to, but there is a UPC code. So if you can find the UPC code in an image and you're able to run it through add a product page and see if it's a match, that's always helpful. But fairly confident that we have an image match here, just a little bit different lighting. This one's a little bit brighter than in this picture. Then what I'll scroll down and I'll do is I'll just check the product details. So things like the product dimensions, I always look for like the weight. You know, this is an 8-ounce bottle of moisturizer. The shipping weight is 9.9 ounces, which makes sense to me. You know, something that's 8 ounces in the bottle and you got your packaging materials and things like that. It's going to weigh a little bit more. I also have UPCs here that I can always reverse search if I want to double check and make sure. I'm not sure if CVS actually will let me do this, but let's give it a shot while we're on here. Go products with that one.
I'm going to jump out, Taylor, real quick.
Yep.
I just want to make mention, you guys, that what Taylor is showing you in terms of finding the match, the reason that we teach you guys and we want you guys to be, you know, finding your own match, right, is because, you know, we do this work already. Our VAs are going to go through, they're going to make sure that to the best of our abilities, we make sure that we're, you know, the product that we're going to purchase from the source site matches the product that we want to, or the listing we want to sell it on the Amazon site. But okay, there's a couple of things that can happen, right? Like most sites do not provide the UPC code, right? Most sites aren't going to provide that. There's a few that do, like I think Belk is one, Belk.com. Another one is Walgreens. They do provide UPC details, and that does help us, you know, ensure a match. But most sites don't provide that. So we're going off of title. We're going off of, like Taylor showing you, the ounces. We're going off of the images. We're going off of the bullets and the description, and trying to do the best we can to find a good match. Okay. The reason we want you guys, and so when it lands on the list, that vetting has already been done. However, we still want to encourage you all to do your own vetting. Okay. Because the last thing we want to happen, you guys still have to make a final decision, right? For each of your own businesses, your own risk tolerance, and what you're willing to deal with, right? Some of you might see a listing and you say, you know what, everything matches, but the images are just slightly different enough to where that I don't feel comfortable buying that product. I don't feel comfortable with that match. So that's why we encourage you guys to do your own vetting in that regard, because we want you to be ultimately responsible for the results inside of your own business. Our job is to do the best we can in doing that vetting, provide you the leads, and then from there, moving forward in terms of what you decide to purchase or not, it's 100% up to you. So that's why Taylor is going into these details, and it's all very important. Just know that we do that before it lands on the list.
Yep. Yeah, just like Grant said, we go over this and we try to vet out these leads as thorough as possible. We are human though too, and every once in a while we'll have one that might slip past us. So we always definitely do encourage doing your own vetting and being as thorough as possible. So I'm fairly confident this is a match, so that does not worry me. And then the last thing I really need to do is I just need to make sure that what I'm buying it for, what according to the list is I could buy it for, is a match. So I'm going to hop on over here. I'm going to add this to my cart. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead, or my basket on CVS. I'm going to go ahead and go to the checkout. And I'm going to, right now, I'm currently looking at a $17.78 total. That is because there's a shipping charge included. And I do have a coupon. It's actually right up here on the source site or on CVS. You'll see it right up here on the top, save 25% off the whole site. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that coupon in here. Oh, that's not the coupon. Let me. that. Now, if you're shopping off of our list, you'll see right over here that right here, that promo code's already added in there, the 25 free ship. So I'm just grab that from there. And then what I've done now is it's lowered the tax. Let's see. Now I was having issues with this earlier before with this coupon code. It would act kind of weird on me. So right now it looks like it is reducing the buy price but not giving me the free shipping. So last time when I was getting prepared, what I did was I just reset my cart. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete this item real quick. I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna come right back to the listing. And add 2 to my cart. Enter in my promo code, hit apply. That was very clear when I read through all this. So I'm going to go ahead and just move on to the next one. The reason why is because I think there might be having some issues on the technical side. And I'm just going to move on to the next lead. So. Okay, popping on over.
Taylor, yeah. we're having an issue. Your screen isn't sharing anymore from what I can tell.
Let me see if I can fix that.
Yeah, maybe unshare and then reshare again.
Let me know if you see it.
You guys, if you're those of you that are watching live, can you possibly go in and drop a note in the comments to let us know if Taylor's screen was down or if that was just on my end, and maybe what you guys are seeing now. We're definitely having a lag in our internet right now. Bummer. Refresh the screen.
I see that it's not pulling up my camera and it's not sharing for some reason. Should I try to hop off the call and hop back on?
Yeah, why don't you do that? Jump off and then re-jump on, yeah. Okay. Gina asked a question. So if you guys are watching still while Taylor's doing this, you asked a question, Gina. Basically, how do you know how many to buy of any particular lead? And here's the answer I would give you. There you are again, Taylor. Here's the answer I would give you to that question. First off, I mean, this is kind of like the elementary question. Obviously, we can't answer it for every single lead. But if you're fairly new, what I would encourage you to start off with in terms of testing is don't buy more than maybe 2 units at a time. And then as you get more and more of any particular lead, that way, if you're still trying to understand rank, you're still trying to understand, what rank means in terms of sales velocity. Another consideration is how sales velocity, affects, or how many competitors you have on a listing affects, how many sales you're going to get based on that rank, stuff like that. So test with 2, and then what will happen is if you send something in to Amazon and you sell 2 units off really, really fast, that'll help kind of educate you on, whether you should have bought more or not, right? But then the benefit really, and the reason why I encourage you, especially depending on how new you are, and I don't know how new you are, so I'm not, I'm assuming a little bit. The benefit of only buying 2 is if you make a mistake, if the lead, doesn't pan out, then you've only got 2 units of product and you're not going to get killed on that. So, but yeah, that's the best answer I can give for you. Again, you buy, how much you should buy really is dependent on how fast it's moving, what the current trend is. There's so many details. So if we really were to dig into it on a per lead basis, it would be different for every lead. So Taylor, maybe while you are discussing this and going through some of the leads, maybe give us kind of an idea of how many you would buy, and maybe cut that in half, right? So if you think you would buy 20, maybe tell people you would buy 10, because again, the goal with this business, you guys, and the way you protect yourself is to go shallow and wide, right? Have a lot of SKUs and not a lot of product. Now, once you buy something that does well, a lot of times you can go back and reorder that again. And then other times you can't, right? If it's a sale item, then that's a different scenario, right? Like let's say you're getting 30% off today with a coupon code. Well, that's a unique situation where you might want to consider going a little deeper because you're getting it at a price that it doesn't normally sell at. All right, so I'm going to jump off and let you take over again, Taylor.
Okay, so I'm moving on to the next lead that we had, which is a Baby Alive toy. And this is going to be coming from Walmart.com. And then you'll see that we should be buying it for $19.88. And the low FBA should be $43.83. So I got the Amazon lead pulled up. $43.83 being the FBA seller and the buy box. I see that right up here. So I'm going to hop over to Walmart. $19.88. It is on sale. It looks like it was currently selling for $39.92. So around $40 isn't unreasonable for a product like this. Most likely this is a price drop or a clearance event. So $19.88, I should be expecting an ROI of 40% and a net of $7.86 on this particular item. Rank being 111,000 in toy and game. So with Walmart, it's really nice. Walmart, even though they don't show the UPCs on the website, if you actually one of our VAs found this out, that he can go into the backside, or essentially he can look at the code. This is a little above my intelligence, but he can look at the code. The UPC is actually right there embedded into the code. So he's able to do a UPC match on these items, but we always want to double check. So this is the Baby Alive Snacking Twins, Luke and Lily with brunette hair. And then Baby Alive Super Snacking Twins exclusive. So this is most likely, right there in the picture, a Walmart exclusive. Luke and Lily with brown hair and green eyes. So image is a match. Let's look right here. Image is a match. Not exactly the best picture, but let's run down to Keepa and see that this product is definitely selling. You'll see that it actually kind of hovers right around, probably in between 50,000 and 100,000 in rank. Every once in a while it gets up a little higher. I see that the price is consistent around $40. Okay. It has risen a little bit. I do also notice that the offer count is dropping. That's a big plus about Keepa, is you'll see offer count as well as price history. So I see that there's less and less offers coming out on this product. If I look at the all-time, which is 217 days, I see that there was a spike. It did get up to 39 offers, 40 offers, and the price held fairly close to $40, $38.99. One thing I like to do is if I see that there was a peak and I'm at a low right now, I always want to go and take a look at the peak price just to get an idea that say it gets a little high and the price does drop to $38.99. I'm still going to be making a little bit of money on this. I'm not going to be making the 40% ROI, but there is still money or still meat left on the bone if the offers get up a little higher. But looking at this, $19.88, and judging off the Keepa, if I was going to make a purchase on this, being that it is Walmart.com, which is one of the larger and easier sites to do online arbitrage from, I would probably buy 2, maybe 3 of these for our own business. And if I was brand new, I'd buy 1 or 2. Definitely, obviously definitely 1, but I mean, I probably wouldn't be too afraid to get to buy 2. Right now they're looking at 11 offers, and this does sell quite a bit. So if I was going to make this purchase, I would go here and go ahead and add this to my cart on Walmart. I'm going to up my quantity. Let's see, go to view cart. I'm going to up my quantity to 2 or 3. I accidentally hit it. And I do get free shipping at a certain point. I want to say it's above $35 you get free shipping on Amazon. Or I'm sorry, on Amazon, on Walmart.com. So I do have shipping now. I do pay tax in Washington State, but since we are registered as resellers through Washington State, I can use my resale permit on Walmart.com to get this excluded out of my price automatically if I were to log into our account. And then before I make a purchase decision, though, what I always want to do, and this is a tip for online arbitrage, is I'm going to go over to a site like topcashback.com or Ebates. Ebates is definitely the more well-known one. And I actually have the eBay extension right here, so I could just click this button. And what it will do is it will activate my up to 10% cash back. Now, what I do, though, if I go to topcashback.com, is I can actually go to Walmart. Let's find it right here, actually, since it's featured. I can actually go to Walmart, and it will tell me what cash back for each department. So I'm looking at the toys department. So it's actually 5% cash back, which should be the same with Ebates. What I can do is I can actually go to ebates.com and follow the same process, type in the store, and then with Walmart, they will actually tell you what percentage you get back off of each department. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to activate that cash back. Okay. Use resale purposes or commercial. Well, I mean, this is always lovely. I've never gotten this before, but if you see that, some of these sites don't like to know that you're a reseller. So if you're ordering a very large quantity, be careful, because there's a good chance your order may get canceled. Since we're only ordering 2 or 3 of these, I'm not too worried about them canceling our order. So what Top Cash Back will do is it'll open up, and Ebates will do the same thing. It will open up a new window from Walmart.com. Since I've already added my product to my cart, I can just go to my cart and then go ahead and check out. And I will most likely get back my 5% from Ebates or Top Cash Back. Now, we wouldn't advise you to take this into consideration or to make it part of your profits margin. It is like a nice insurance, or essentially it's a nice little bonus. You get your check out after a while from one of these websites with your cash back, and you can use that to pour right back into sourcing. But I went ahead and activated that. Walmart, it's very rare they're going to have a deal, but if I are coupon out, but if I wanted to, I could go to Retail Me Not and just double check to make sure that there's no coupons that I'm missing out on. And scroll through this really quick. There isn't. I mean, I've already gone through and vetted all this out beforehand. So I'm going to go ahead and end this lead at Walmart. I'm not going to
actually, Taylor.
Yeah, go ahead, Grant.
Do you still have Walmart open?
I have it right here. Yep.
Okay, cool. So 2 things, and before you move on to a different lead, go ahead and show them here in just a second. I got another thing to say too, but go ahead and show them the OA Cheddar reconcile sheet and the example sheet we created, and just plug in the data real quick on this lead. We're only going to do it for 1, but that way they can kind of see how to track their orders and make sure they're staying organized. The other thing I was going to mention is Taylor showed you guys Retail Me Not, which is a pretty awesome. So while he's typing this in, I'll just talk a little bit. Retail Me Not is basically a deal site. They post coupons and sales that different retailers that are partnered up with them are offering. And just so you all know, our team is using Retail Me Not and other tools that we're not going to show you yet in this video to find those deals. So it may be unlikely, or it may be that we've already found the coupon code. So that's just something important to consider when you're looking through OA Cheddar leads. Go over to the promos column on the sheet and see if we've already provided a coupon for you, because most likely if one exists that's going to be applicable to your order for that day, it's already on the sheet. So what Taylor's doing here, you guys, is he's adding, hypothetically adding all the details from a purchase into a reconcile sheet. This is pretty easy to create. And one thing I will tell you all is, if you're not using a Google account, you should be, right? If you have a Yahoo email or MSN or some of these other free email providers, I would strongly encourage you to switch over to Gmail, because or to the Google service that is Google, because it's massive, right? This is a Google sheet you're looking at. It's a lot like Excel. But once you start playing around with the different services and options that Google provides in terms of documents, sheets, even slideshows, the Google Drive, which is completely free, and you can save a ton of data in there, a ton of documentation in there. That's 100% free. It's like having an external hard drive essentially. It's awesome, right? So one thing, Taylor, can you show them, if you can go over while we're talking about this? So you guys see what's going on here, right? We got date, buyer, store, order ID, ASIN, product name, quantity. The reason why we put all this stuff in there is so that when your order arrives to either your facility or to your prep center's facility, which they're going to have you have a sheet like this anyway, it helps you stay organized. You know, okay, how many did I order? How much should I pay? You know, your buy cost is going to be there already, so you're not going to have to factor that in once the product arrives. So you might as well just do that work when you're at your computer anyway, making the purchases. And then when the stuff arrives, you can reference the sheet. You can see we have in column K status updates. So for example, in my situation, when Charles, our shipper, our cousin, receives product, and he, you know, if he receives it, he goes into that column. He says, you know, product received in full, right? Or if he didn't receive it all for some reason, or the wrong product showed up, then that's going to go in the notes section. And then that's how we all communicate as a team about the online arbitrage orders. If he ships it into FBA, he's going to update that status column again. So we're always kind of in the know. We all, as a team, we all can go reference the sheet and see what's going on. And you might as well start acting like you're a team, or have a team now if you're serious about this business, even if it's just you right now. Okay. Yep. If you go to the OA Cheddar sheet real quick, while we're talking about Google and the Drive, can you show them how to save, right? How to save this once you do have a Google account. We want you guys, every time you get, from us, every time you get a lead list, okay? And just so you all know, if you haven't noticed yet, every single lead list comes in a weekly sheet, right? So at the bottom, show them the tabs at the bottom. If there were multiple tabs, it would be down there at the bottom left. You would have one for every date of the month or of the week, okay? So every Monday, you're getting a brand new sheet. Now, the thing is the link inside of your old emails goes dead, basically, gets cut off after the week has expired, and we've gone and changed out the redirecting links that basically get delivered to you every day. So if you don't save the lead sheet, right, you're going to lose it for good, or you're going to have to contact me, and I'm going to have to send you personal invites to the lead sheet because you forgot to save it to your computer. So there's two ways. The first one is what Taylor's going to show you right now. He clicks on that little folder icon at the top of the sheet.
Now, normally, if you don't have, if I'm not mistaken, Grant, because we do everything on Drive, wouldn't this normally be like a triangle symbol or like a pyramid?
It could be one or the other. It could be a triangle. It could be the Google Drive symbol, but oftentimes I've noticed it's a folder symbol like that, and that could be because I own it. If you don't own it, it may be coming in the Google Drive, triangle symbol. So simply right there, if you go to that box at the bottom of the drop down, bottom right, you can click on that and you can create a new folder. You can give it a name. So you could create a folder inside your Google Drive and call it OA Cheddar Leads, right? And then save every single, super simple, super quick, and then you have everything saved. Now, if you go to, can you open up Sheets? Just go to Sheets real quick.
I
want to show them how to, or go to your email or somewhere inside of, how about just go to your Sheets? Whenever you're inside of this section that Taylor's going to show you, or whenever you're inside of your Gmail account, once you've created it, because once you create the Gmail account, you get the Drive and all that awesome stuff. Is it going to take you to Sheets?
Well, I wasn't sure. You want us to go to our Sheets?
Yeah, just go to our Sheets real quick. You guys are going to see some titles of a bunch of sheets. I'm not really worried about that. Go click the grid on the top right. Click on the grid on the top. Yep, click on that. All right, there you are. This is how you access all your awesome Google stuff. You guys, I know I'm kind of going off on a little tangent. This is super important. Like, if you guys are going to build a real business, I promise you're going to use these tools. I promise you. You can check Google Maps. You can go to Google from here. You can check out your Sheets. You see there, you got Docs. That drive right there that Taylor is circling, don't click on that, Taylor, but when you do, when you save the sheets to your own drive inside of a folder, when you click on that drive, it's going to take you to a page where you can search the name of your folders. You can look, it'll be all listed in there. You very quickly access all the sheets that you've ever purchased from us, all the weekly sheets, okay? So that's the best way, in my opinion, to save our sheets and reference them in the future. The other way is very simply, you can go on YouTube and find a video that'll show you how to do this. but you can just bookmark the page if you don't want to use Google. You can bookmark the page to your browser. The problem with that, I don't think there is a problem with that actually. As long as your browser doesn't get, terminated or something, you should always have them saved there. But the safest place is inside of Google. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to let you keep
No,
rolling,
you're
buddy.
good.
So you've already showed them the cashback stuff on Walmart. You've showed them the sheet. This is the only one we're going to do inside of this video, guys. So we're not going to reference this sheet again. Go ahead.
All right. Perfect. Yeah. So we went over cashback. So we always want to check cashback sites. It's just money that you're leaving on the table if you're not. So always be using cashback sites. Top Cashback is a very popular one that we use, and then Ebates is usually our number 2. And we'll compare the two to see. Sometimes you can find a better cashback deal on Ebates. Retail Me Not will also give you that information. So if you come over here, I believe sometimes you can find like cashback or something that they would have available. So the other thing too is if you are looking at buying a larger purchase, or say you find yourself always shopping from, for an example, a store like Walmart. There is also gift cards that you can go out and buy in bulk, but that's a strategy that we'll touch on maybe at a later video, or I'll create a YouTube video about that. But let's just go ahead. We're going to move on to the next one. This is actually going to be a clothing lead. So this is a little different than what than a lot of the items that you'll normally see. This is going to be an actual hat. And so I'm going to take you over what, if I was looking at a clothing lead, what I'd be looking for while I'm sourcing. So I'm on Amazon. I'm supposed to be buying this hat for $14. There's no coupon code. So I'm going to just come over here and check. All right, $14 is my price. Looks like it's on sale from $29. And then right now on Amazon, the low FBA is $34.97. So I'm paying $14 for this. So if I were to sell this at the low FBA price, I would be making a net profit of $12.26 with an ROI of 88%, which is awesome. Rank is pretty good. Now with clothing, rank is important, but rank really isn't the best indicator on whether or not you're looking at an item that sells. The reason why is because there's a red version, there's a blue version of this hat, and all the sales from those different versions also affect this rank. So what I really want to do is I want to slide down here to Keepa, and I see, turn on the blue line so it's a little bit easier to see the price. I see that the price stays around that mid to high 30s range, okay? In the last 3 months, it was like even selling at some points up to around $47, $38. I'm going to look at the year. On the year-wise, again, good looking data. This item sells a lot, and what you'll actually see down here is the offers. Now, when I look at clothing, whether I'm sourcing RA or sourcing OA, and this is actually a very large tip for anybody who's new to sourcing clothes, is instead of looking at the sales rank spikes, what I'm actually more looking at is the offer count. So an offer count, when a seller comes onto a listing with their items, that is a new offer. So what that will be is a spike up. And of course, if an offer goes away, it is an indication that that seller sold out of their product. So when I see these spikes going down, that tells me, okay, well, this item is obviously selling because sellers are selling out of their inventory. Whether that is one item or 20 items, I don't really know. I just see that there's movement in the offer count. So for instance, on this hat, I see that there's a lot of movement. I've seen that it's gone out of stock multiple times. Okay, you can see that here when there's a gap in information, that means that it went out of stock. So I know has no problem selling at this higher price. I know that it has the history. I see there's lots of movement. So I feel pretty good about ordering this. Now, I wouldn't be ordering, again, I wouldn't be ordering a crazy amount. Maybe I'd order, for our business, I'd probably order like 10 of these because the history is so strong, if they even allowed me to order 10. And then I would check back in to hopefully see if it's on sale later. The other part of me also says I might actually buy more. Obviously, this item is on sale considerable. It's about half off. So this might be a good opportunity that I might want to jump on. Again, though, if you are a newer seller and maybe you're just starting to get into clothing, I wouldn't go super deep. I'd probably buy like 3 or 4, and that would definitely hold you for at least probably a couple weeks to a month. What I'll do now is I just want to add this to my cart. I'm going to go ahead and select 9. I'm going to add them to my cart. There's no checkout, there's no coupon, which makes this super easy. I don't have to worry about going in a code. But what I will do, just because I want to make sure I have good practice, I'm going to go here to Retail Me Not. Go to Patagonia. I see free shipping on anything over $40 or $49. I don't think that's a coupon code. Nope, that's just their normal awesomeness. So I'm not going to go ahead. I'm not going to add that to a deal or anything. Other than that, I don't see any other coupons. So my next step will be to go to Top Cashback, type in Patagonia.
Okay, cool.
It doesn't. So now that I've done this, I'm just going to go ahead and I'll just move forward with this order. Really simple. There's no coupons or anything like that. So were you going to say something, Grant?
Cool. So let's so moving forward on the leads that we go over next, let's just focus on vetting it in terms of whether you would want to buy it or not. Okay. That way, you guys, we don't want to spend too much time. Taylor showed you guys now how to look for cashback opportunities. You can check Retail Me Not. You can make sure, see if there's any coupons. You want to make sure that you reconcile your transactions. So the stuff that Taylor's going to go over moving forward is going to be strictly on vetting the lead and seeing if it's a decision he would want to make. But before you do that, Taylor, yep, also show them how they need to be checking to see if, for example, if it's a cosmetic. I don't think you went over this yet, did you?
No, and thank you for reminding me. Yeah, you are.
Hold on. So if it's a cosmetic, Taylor's going to show you how to check for Hazmat. If it's Hazmat, you generally can't ship it in via FBA, which stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. But Taylor will show you that. The other thing that I wanted you to show them is, or at least mention, is the add a product page and making sure that they're actually approved to sell a product. So those are 2 other things that they need to be doing before making a purchase.
All right. Yeah. So like Grant said, if you're looking at a product and you're not sure and you're doing FBA, you definitely want to be checking to make sure a product is Hazmat or not. Our team does go over and check this, but we again strongly advise that everyone also do this just to make sure and double check. So what you want to do is you actually just want to go to Google here and you would just type in FBA Hazmat, and then you'll be your first. It's from Amazon.com. It would be your first thing that pops up. Now, normally we would be signed in, so I could just drop the ASIN number and it will tell me whether or not the product is Hazmat. I'm not going to go ahead and do that just because I'm not going to sign into our seller account while we're live. So what you normally do here, there'd be a section where you could just drop the ASIN number, right in this area, and then check to see if the product is Hazmat or under Hazmat review. That way you're checking that before you're making a purchase to just to be safe.
Show them where to find the ASIN.
The ASIN number, if you are looking at a listing, there's 2 ways you can find it. If you're using RevROI, your ASIN would be, right on this one, that's a parent ASIN, but normally you would have it right around this area. In the URL, you can actually select it right here. It's right there, it highlights itself. It always starts with a B and then a 0 and then an assortment of numbers afterwards, numbers and letters. And then you can also scroll down to the product details portion, and your ASIN would be right here.
So a clue on a product. Here's a couple clues where you would say, okay, I need to check to see if this is a Hazmat product. And you guys, this happens in retail arbitrage as well. We check Hazmat to make sure, the worst thing that can happen is you buy something, you get it to your house and you're ready to ship it in, you find out, oh, I can't ship this into FBA. Mm-hmm. So here's a couple of clues that will indicate whether something could potentially be Hazmat. For clue number 1, there's no FBA sellers on it, or very few, right? If there's a lot of sellers on the listing, let's say there's 20 merchant fulfill offers, but there's only 1 or 0 FBA offers, then that could mean you should probably check to see if it's Hazmat, right? And generally, you're going to see that type of situation. And the reason why there still could be an FBA seller on the listing is because Amazon has a program where some sellers, including and some of the people we work with, are allowed to ship products into FBA that are Hazmat, but you have to be approved to do it. You have to buy your own shipping. You can't get it through Amazon's partnership programs, stuff like that. So there's some certain stipulations that would make you qualify, and then you have to ship your product into FBA a certain way. So most of you aren't going to be able to ship hazmat products into FBA, so just be aware of that. You can consider merchant fulfilling them. Okay, that is something you can do, where you're buying your own shipping from USPS or whatever. You make your listing merchant fulfill network instead of FBA network, and when the order comes in, you ship it to the customer yourself. You can do that. But so clue number one: very few to zero FBA offers. Clue number two: it's a cosmetic. Okay, mascara can be really common to be hazmat, or if it's any type of liquid, right? If it's like detergent, if it, laundry detergent, or some sort of cleaning material, or if it takes batteries. Okay, if it has batteries in the packaging, right? It's one thing if it, you can apply batteries, like it's a toy and you add batteries to it after you buy it, like batteries aren't included. That's probably not be an issue. But if it has batteries included, it's possible that those batteries are lithium ion, a certain type of lithium ion or something. I don't even know. I'm not an expert in this area. And that would also be an indicator that, hey, this could possibly be hazmat, and make sure it's not. Okay. Make sure you show them the add a product page also, Taylor.
Yeah, so if you're on a listing and you're using RevSeller, you can log into your Seller Central account, and this will take you straight to the add a product page where you'll be able to check restrictions and other things. Now, if I come here, yep, it's not going to let me do that. So normally, if you're logged into your Amazon account, you select this button, and it will log you into your Seller Central and automatically take you to the add a product page, where then you will find out whether or not you're allowed to sell an item or not. And normally, I think if you're actually logged in, this will say need approval. If you're if you're not, it will turn. I think I'm not used to it, but I want to say it turns red, or you'll see it says need approval right above it. Yeah, it's in red. So yeah, check your hazmat by Googling FBA hazmat, and then going onto this page from Google onto Amazon, and you can type that in. And then checking to see if you're restricted on an item. You can log in this way, or you can take the ASIN number and go to the add a product page on your Seller Central account and drop it in there and see if you're approved. So this probably is going to be the last lead we go over just because of time. But what I want to do is I wanted to grab one from what are essentially our extras from today, or what we call right now, we're calling Cheddar 3. So this is an exclusive lead. So if you're seeing this and you're live, well, congratulations. Here's a free lead for you that no one else has seen yet, at least none of our customers. So it is a Rick and Morty windshield sunshade. This is coming from boxlunch.com. So right off the bat, I'm just going to, I can see that the images are obviously a match. Box Lunch is a pretty darn good site. And the title is the match. There's not going to be a bunch of super differences. I guess I could see the size. Scroll down here, 27.5 by 58, 27.5 by 58. Right now there is a 30% off the entire site of Lunchbox. That looks like it ends in 7 hours. So normally I could get this for $14.90. I'm actually going to get it for $10.43. I'm going to hop over to my list to make sure I'm not missing any coupons. $10.43. Nope, we're good. So at $10.43, you'd be making a 55% ROI, $5.77 in your net. One thing I want to take a look at is, just I'm curious, if I were to buy this at $14.90, if it wasn't on sale, nah, never mind, not good. So back to it, $10.43. Okay, my profit looks good. Let's go down to Keepa. Keepa here, the price actually historically, the price has been higher. It looks like historically the price is around $38.29. And it looks like just recently there's been a spike in offers, and the price is right now at $27.49. I see that those are starting to work their way down. And guys, that happens quite a bit actually. You may, with online arbitrage, you may find that you might buy an item, and the next thing you know, there's a bunch of sellers on that item. There is those spikes that do happen. And one of the things that we've found going back over older leads is if you usually wait about 3-4 weeks and hold on to that item, a lot of those offers will sell out and that price will come right back up to where it was historically. I mean, on an item like this, $38.29 is the normal price. And actually, if I'm going to go back and say if I was going to purchase this item and it wasn't on sale, and and I came back to this maybe a month from now at $14.90, and if it was selling at $38.29, let's just see what that would look like. $38.29, which is what it historically, for the most part, sells around, and $14.90, which is what it normally is on boxlunch.com without any sales or discounts. Well, I mean, there's $9.90 in net, 66% ROI. And so right now, this is actually a great value for the live call. Right now, there's a good chance that if you were to go back and look at this lead after a few weeks, it's probably going to be selling back around that 38 to, I mean, even sometimes up to $47 price range. And you could possibly be buying this item for the full price of boxlaunch.com, sending it into Amazon and selling it for a considerable amount of profit without any coupons or without any fuss. So this is just another example of why you should always be saving your OA leads that you get from us and then double checking back into it. I would say probably a good rule of thumb is when you're going over today's leads, maybe go back and look at the leads from 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago or whatever fits your model, your business model, and just see where they're at. You may find things like this where the offers go back low again, the price raises, and you're able to buy it again and replenish your inventory and continually sell it. So I hope you enjoyed these leads. I hope I answered everyone's questions. I'm not sure, I'm not able to see the chat, but if there is any questions, I'd be happy to answer them or we can talk about that. What do you think? What do you say, Grant?
Yo, sorry about that. Go ahead and stop sharing your screen real quick.
Okay.
Shut that off. All right, there you are, big buddy. Nice job, Taylor. Very well said. I think the value was good, man. I think that we are, you guys, just so you know, we're going to come out and do this about once a month where Taylor and I get on and we just go over some leads and talk about them and make sure that we're always just sharpening everybody's axe. So we would encourage you to continue to be with us live on these calls because then you get to get your questions answered, but you can always watch the recording as well. Thank you for those of you who have stayed on. I do want to recap. I have a couple of recaps I'm going to do just to kind of go over some stuff, make sure that we kind of tie it all, kind of tie a pretty little bow on top of this call because Taylor and I, this is our first like live training. And so I think we're also learning and getting more organized as we go. We did try, okay, but I'm going to go over some of the details so that we just kind of tie a bow on top of all this. So I think it was excellent, Taylor, for our first live training in terms of OA Cheddar TV. So let me go ahead. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Oh, and just so you know, Taylor, I don't think there was a lot of questions. There was some dialogue between myself and Gina, but nothing crazy. So while I do the recap, you guys, I will double check one last time if there is any questions from all of you. So drop them inside of the comments here on YouTube, and we'll get back to them if there are any before I finish the call, before I end the broadcast. Okay, so sharing my screen real quick.
Yeah, and real quick, I'm going to step in. Well, like Grant was saying, guys, when this is what we want this to be. These live calls is our way to connect with you, our customers, and to answer your questions and to talk about some concerns that you may have or strategies that you may have questions about. So we want to be here for you. And if you're not able to make these live calls, when we post up the post about this live call, you can feel free to add your question down in the comments below and we'll review that. And if we're able to, we'll pull that question out and answer that on the call. So hopefully you can get it answered on the recording. But again, we strongly encourage that you guys join us live. That way we can create a dialogue and we can connect and talk. Like Grant said, we're going to be doing this once a month. And we really want to just make this the best opportunity that we have to just get to know everybody and to like I said, touch base with our customers and be of service to them. So
cool, man. And that is what's up, man. We really just want to take care of all of you. We do this really to serve the community and provide, and we want to under promise and over deliver on everything. So, when you guys bought our lead list, we never did tell you that we were going to do training. But when we see a need, we go ahead and try to attack it as best we can. And that's really what this is seeing that you guys could use some extra education and providing it. So, all right, so let's just recap real quick, right? Just a button up. I'm going to try to do this super fast. I wanted you guys to see this, right? See the outline, not just hear us talk about it. And hopefully you guys can jot this down, come back, watch the recording if you can't write fast enough. And you'll get kind of the outline of things that, the steps that you need to follow, in my opinion and in Taylor's opinion, to make sure that you're making good decisions. Okay, so here we go. You start with OA Cheddar. Of course you start with OA Cheddar. If not OA Cheddar, it's OA Feta, right? So we get a lead list. We open it up, and what do? We save the sheet to our Google Drive, right? If we don't save it to our Google Drive, we bookmark it to our browser or some other form of saving the sheet. Okay, that way you can always access the list later on, right? Some of the most successful people, and you're not going to hear this everywhere in the space, but some of the most successful OA sellers are going back into the archives. In fact, just so you guys know, I'll throw this out there. I just had one of our team members go through all of Cheddar 55 leads from the last 3 months to see how many of them are still profitable, still meet the Cheddar criteria. You guys, the last 3 months, there was like about 150 leads that are still available, right? That means that, the coupons, there was probably not a coupon attached to it because obviously, coupons expire. So that means the lead won't be good later. But the point is there was 150 good OA Cheddar 55 leads, not including dose, from the past 3 months, right? April, May, and June. So you guys save your historical records, go back through, like you're as you're a member of our lead list, you are basically cultivating and building up a database of profitable products that you can reference and go back to. So yes, we deliver, try to deliver at least 10 top shelf leads every day, Monday through Friday. Yeah, we do. But you also, if you've been here for a couple months, you've got, potentially hundreds of leads that you can continue to source. You should not be short of great opportunities in your business. Okay. So that's a golden nugget right there. All right. So check the stats. So you're on the sheet, right? You save it on Monday, right? That way you don't have to worry about it, Tuesday through Friday. You save it on Monday, it's done. And then you want to look at the stats before you click on a lead. Maybe just say, okay, what's the buy cost? Is there a coupon? Yes or no? All right. Open up the lead, open up the product listing. Or the source site listing, open up the Amazon listing and start comparing, right? So yeah, check there, see if there's a coupon code. One of the first things you might do is see if you're eligible to sell the product. If you're fairly new, the kryptonite for new sellers is whether you can sell it or not and being restricted on that brand. So as you're learning whether you're restricted or not on certain brands, if you're using RevSeller, it's super simple. You just click that button, log into your Seller Central account. Once you're logged in, every time you click that button at the top of RevSeller, top right corner of RevSeller, it's going to take you to the Add a Product page, preload the ASIN, and tell you if you can sell it new or not. Okay, so that's a super fast way to double check. Otherwise, just open up the Add a Product page on your Seller Central account, assuming you're not using RevSeller, and put, copy and paste the ASIN. Taylor showed you what that is, and drop it in there. The next thing would be, is it Hazmat? Okay, we talked about the clues. I'm not going to go over that again. If it's potentially Hazmat, you can go to Google, search Hazmat FBA. The first thing that's going to come up is a link that's going to take you to the page where you can actually check whether something is Hazmat on your computer. Okay, that wasn't always the case. We had to use our phone app, and now there's that other option. So you'll just paste the ASIN in, and it'll tell you whether the product is Hazmat or whether it is not Hazmat. If it is Hazmat, and you're not able to sell FBA, Hazmat products FBA, then you probably just need to walk away from that product. Generally, that's not going to happen unless we miss it. Okay, that can happen. Profitability. How do we check profitability? Taylor showed you. We look at profitability using RevSeller. Okay. Next, we go down to Keepa. So this is this is a step process. Right? We're working our way through the process of vetting a lead on your own after it's already been vetted by our team. So we look at the sales history using a tool called Keepa. It's a Chrome extension. You can just add it to, go to keepa.com, download the Chrome extension onto your Chrome browser, again, Google, and you'll have it on all of your Amazon listings. It's super cool. So you look at the price history. Taylor showed you that, and we'll show you more as time goes on. You look at the sales velocity, right? You're looking at rank and seeing how fast the product moves. And then we look at reliability. What does that mean? We're looking at, how has the product performed over time, right? What is the current trend? What are previous trends? Is something happening today that happened before? Right, that's the type of stuff that what I mean by when I'm talking about reliability. Is there something that the history is telling us about the potential future? Is there something that the history is telling us about the potential future? And there's a lot of scenarios, you guys. And as you get more and more involved in this business, you buy more and more product, you sell more and more product, you're going to learn there is probably 50,000 different scenarios that could happen. That's an exaggeration, but still. All right, so match, right? What's after we've determined, okay, we can sell the product, it's not hazmat. I like the profitability as it is right now. I've checked Keepa. I feel really comfortable with the historical records. I feel like everything's kind of lining up and looking good. All right, let me double check before I buy that this is a good match. The first thing we look at possibly is the images. The next thing we try to find on the source site is maybe a UPC code, right? And see if we can match that up to a UPC code on Amazon. Sometimes there's not a UPC code listed on the Amazon listing, and sometimes there is or isn't on the source site. So that you may or may not be able to use UPC code to vet a match. Is there a model number, right? Is there some sort of model number that I can reference and find on both listings and possibly, you know, feel confident in a match that way? Am I picking the right color, right? If it's a cosmetic, there's tan colors, there's browns, there's blacks. Make sure that when you're buying from the source site, you're picking the correct color that you're looking at on the Amazon listing, right? Because that can get you. Does the title match? What is the title on Amazon? What is it on the source site? And is it a good match? And then other listing details that'll include the bullets, and that'll include excuse me, that'll include the bullets, and that'll include the description, right? And see if there's any other clues. You're just looking for clues that can help you vet the match, right?
Hey Grant, can I hop in real quick? Because I feel like there could be another step in between the match and the add to cart. And that would be when you're on the Amazon listing, explore the Amazon listing, see what else is around there. You may find that there's an item, and you may see that there's a multi-pack, on another listing that sells very well. Well, now you just create an extra opportunity, one that a lot of people probably won't even check and find.
Right.
Maybe there's a combo we can do. There was a lead that we had a while back that was, we had a separate lead for a shampoo, and then we had a separate lead for a conditioner. Well, we found that there was another lead or another listing on Amazon that was both of them in a bundle, and it actually sold for more profit than what the other two would do separately. I know there was a lead on today's list that you could actually sell, I want to say a 3-pack, and you can make the same percentage of ROI off the same amount of buy cost. So all you're doing is doubling your chances of making that money. So explore the Amazon listings, check it out. That's the fun part of OA. That's the stuff that you'll find the little rabbit holes that you can dive into and find opportunity that you would normally by just looking at look at that pretty face. Normally over just what's on the list. So definitely, I encourage you guys explore on the Amazon listings and see if there's anything else that you could be selling other than just.
That's a golden nugget right there, and that's I'm not going to elaborate on it because Taylor already said it. But yeah, explore, see if there's other options. There might be even other colors on the source site of a particular item, right? You might look at the source site and find some variations that you can then go cross-reference and see if you can find those on Amazon. Doing that type of stuff is what makes the difference between those that are successful selling online arbitrage and those that are very successful. Okay, try to go against the grain a little bit by doing stuff like that. So then you would add the product to your cart. Okay, I like to add products to my cart first. You saw Taylor do this, and then go to the Cashback site. And I would check all these: upromise.com, topcashback.com, and Ebates. See where you can get the best cash back, and then go through the portal and do what you got to do. Ebates is the only one of these three that provides a Chrome extension that you can click on when you're on the source site, and it automatically attaches the cash back. I have found that generally Ebates is a lower cashback percentage than you're going to find at Top Cashback and Upromise. But you also will find that Ebates probably represents more stores, right? Because they're more popular. You'll then check out your product, and then you're going to add all of the details of that purchase to your OA Cheddar reconcile sheet. And Taylor showed you all that, so we're not going to get into it, okay? So there's that. The only other thing I want to just reiterate, make sure is before we finish the video, is you guys, we have the OA Cheddar Facebook group. This is where we're all hanging out. There's currently 173 of us that are all pretty aligned in such a way that we all do online arbitrage, and most of us inside of here are subscribed to the list. And actually, I wouldn't say most of us, because I don't think we have 173 subscribers yet. So come to Facebook, right? there is a link below inside the description of this video, but it's facebook.com/groups/OA Cheddar / and that's where you're going to find us here hanging out on Facebook. And we're always dropping some value, answering any questions you guys might have, and all that awesomeness. You're going to have to request to join the group. So you're going to click on this link right here to join the group. And then as soon as you get inside, okay, I want you to come to this post and read this entire post. Okay, this talks a little bit about what we are, who we are, what we do. And then you can obviously scroll through and look at all the other cool stuff. In fact, there's a video in here somewhere recently. Here's a video Taylor did on Keepa where he went into extensive detail. I actually watched this in its entirety recently. It's about a 15 minute video. You guys, he breaks 16 and a half minute video where Taylor breaks down every little nook and cranny of the Keepa extension tool. And so I would really encourage you to watch this video, because Keepa, you guys, is probably the most powerful tool we're using to vet a buying decision, whether it's retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, or even if you're doing wholesale, you're going to be using Keepa a lot. Okay, so make sure you watch this video. Be a friend, right? And like videos that you watch on the OA Cheddar channel. If you want to go to my personal YouTube channel, it's just called Grant Dunn. You can go there. You can see where Taylor has put in, I think, like almost 10 OA Cheddar lead reviews where he breaks down a lead, you guys, and it goes into, again, if you're looking for training and more information, he breaks it down in extensive detail on how to vet leads and stuff. So you can go watch videos on my channel. We also have some awesome vlogs in there that we've created where Taylor's in there with me doing some shopping. So definitely go do that. Again, like and comment on the videos, ask questions. We'll be prepared to answer them for you there.
You guys also, I'm going to cut it one more time. This wasn't planned, and I might be stepping out of my boundaries here, but whatever. If you actually go on our YouTube channel and you subscribe, you watch one of our videos till the end, and then like and comment and let us know, I'll go ahead and I'll put together a lead list of I'll say 5 to 7 really good leads, stuff that's not shared on any of our list, and I will send that to you. If you, I'll create a post in the group, and you guys can comment that once it's done. I'll verify it, and then I will email you, or we'll send you that list. That would be up to us, and then that'll be a little a reward for you guys for doing that. We have a bunch more videos that we're planning on putting out. My goal is to get hopefully anywhere from 2 to 3 videos out a week to at least 1. Going over tools, strategies, and all sorts of good stuff on that channel, the OA Cheddar YouTube channel. So if you haven't taken a look at it, please do. And I'll create a post in the Cheddar Facebook group that will break that down. We'll do that for, I'd say, the first, I don't know, do you want to put a limit on it, Grant, or do you want to just say?
No, I think let's not put a limit on it, because I would say as of right now, okay, and we may change the rules. You can always ask us if you're watching this video several months from now, right? We may or may not still be doing this offer, but I don't think we need to put a limit on it. Here's the deal. If you're watching the recording right now and you've gotten this far into the video, sweet, right? You obviously like Taylor a lot.
My voice didn't put you to sleep.
Taylor's voice didn't put you to sleep. So go ahead and do that. Subscribe to the channel, like a video, and watch the video from in its entirety. Comment below the video, just something, right, or a question, and then reach out to Taylor, myself. You guys, we always have surplus leads, so we can always throw together and drop you like a nugget of some awesome leads that we'll just give to you as a favor. So yeah, do that. That'd be great. Appreciate it. The last thing that we'll talk about, I think, before we jump off, is just the oacheddar.com sales page. I just want to go over this really quick. You guys, we offer a free 14-day trial to all of our lists. That means that you're going to get well over 100 leads for free, right, before you even pay for anything. And if you decide that you don't want the list after getting 100 free leads, or as long as you come to us before that 14-day trial expires and you get charged, you can cancel your subscription. We don't think you'll want to. It's most likely that you're going to, if you go through the 14-day trial, you're going to see the value, and you're going to want to continue to buy our leads and source from our list. But there's always that exception. So again, free leads, that's what we're offering on all of our lists currently. So take advantage. If you scroll down on oacheddar.com, you'll see our list. We're currently offering OA Feta 55, OA Cheddar 55, OA Cheddar Dose. Okay, listen, these are two of the lists that have very similar standards in terms of actually the exact same standards. You'll see the Cheddar standard right here. Yet the difference is the leads are completely 100% unique. So if you're already subscribed to OA Cheddar 55 and you want more of the same quality of leads, you're welcome to also subscribe to OA Cheddar Dose, and vice versa. If you're subscribed on Dose and you want more, you can subscribe to 55. Currently, right, as I'm recording this video, this button says that it's sold out. So you may come here and see that it says it's sold out. And it'll automatically take you to the OA Cheddar sales page. We do have a couple of seats available, okay? And this doesn't happen very often. Right now, OA Cheddar Dose has plenty of seats, as you can see. We are filling it up, and we don't expect, honestly, we've got a brand partner that is very likely to help us sell some of this OA Cheddar Dose, so these seats may no longer be available at the time you're watching this video. Always come and double check. But if you are watching this video live or you're watching it, soon after the recording, just so you know, we have a couple of seats on OA Cheddar 55 available. If you would like access to OA Cheddar 55 and you're not already a subscriber to this list, you can send myself or Taylor a private message on Facebook. Okay, you can find us inside the OA Cheddar Facebook group, send us a friend request and a message, say I would like to get on OA Cheddar 55, and we can send you a direct checkout link. If you would like to take a look at OA Feta 55, it's a different type of standard, okay? In that the ROI standard is a little bit looser, the average net profit is a little looser, and the rank and sales velocity is a little looser. I'm not going to talk about all the details of this. Just realize that this is a lower cost list, but I would say in some ways it has a lot of very, very great value. I shouldn't say in some ways. It's a very valuable list. That's why we created it. It's a lower price, okay? So it's a little bit easier on the pocketbook. But what you're going to see here is, again, a lot of leads, and I'm not going to go into the details. You can click on joinoafeta.com. It'll take you to a different sales page. And right here, I talk in detail about how, with Gabe, our friend Gabe, and partner, I go into detail about why Feta or how Feta is different than the Cheddar. So it's all good stuff, you guys. We appreciate you. I'm going to end my screen share here. That's all she wrote. Can you see my face?
Yes.
There we are. Okay. Let me go and double check before we jump off to see if there's any possible questions from any of you. And then we'll go from there. So we got, thank you guys. Thank you again. Great content. Some of you are still watching. Thanks a lot. You guys are awesome. Casey Reap says, thanks guys. It was great. Gina says, awesome. Thanks. Stephanie, Taylor's the best. Taylor is the best. You guys, honestly, hey, while I got a chance, I'm going to publicly declare that my brother is a badass. Okay. You guys, Taylor has been working for me for about 1.5 years. He's extremely intelligent. He's extremely, are you still there, Taylor?
Oh yeah.
Okay, there you are. So he's extremely intelligent, you guys, and he's a giver, right? He worked really hard to get Cheddar ready for delivery and to get to us to the point where we had something that we could provide that was of extensive value. And he's still working hard every single day, Monday through Friday. He gets up early in the morning and he vets now not just 1, not 2, not 3, but 3.5 lists, right? Because we got Cheddar 3 also that is sometimes it has 2 leads on it. Sometimes it has, I think today we had 8 surplus Cheddar leads. So we've got a lot of production going on with our team in the Philippines, and Taylor's working hard to make sure that all that is ready to go every single day. So just so you know, Taylor is probably up for many of you before you are getting everything ready so that those emails get delivered out and the list is there. So appreciate you, Taylor. You've done a great job. We couldn't do this without you, just like we couldn't do this without Gabe and Clark and Cindy and the team in Philippines. You guys, we love you all. So if you're watching this video, much love. We'll see you later, right? I think is that the I love you?
I have no idea. I'm not
here. How about that?
Right.
We're cheesy. I'm cheesy as it gets. We appreciate you. We'll see y'all later.
All right.
Peace out, everybody. Thanks all.
Everybody, bye.